Welcome to the White House and happy Pride! The Pride celebration is always one of the most exciting events at the White House. But this year we wanted to do something a little different than before. Not just a reception that recognizes the leaders and the activists of this movement, but an all-American picnic here on the South Lawn. Celebrating you, America's LGBTQ families. We're grateful to the Gill Foundation who helped make today possible, as well as all of those organizations who work to bring hundreds of families together from across our country. It's such an honor to be here with all of you and to see so many of our friends. And as I look around at this crowd, I'm reminded that you're not just leaders and icons. You're parents trying to figure out what to make for tonight's dinner. You're kids who are hoping to spend every minute at the pool this summer. And your friends who drop off meals when someone is sick. All of us want what everyone else wants. The chance to be who we are and love who we love and make a good life for our families. And all of us deserve that. We know that this year's Pride is caught between the push and pull of progress. Outside the gates of this house are those who want to drag our country backwards, and so many battles yet to be brave. But today, we're not here to be strong, we're not here to be courageous, even though for so many of you, just coming to this event is an act of bravery. Today, we are here to find joy. We want our kids just to be kids, running around and, hey, eating too much sugar. To laugh with the friends that we wish we saw more often. To find solace in the arms of people who see us for who we are. To celebrate the beauty and the resilience of this community. The author, you know I'm an English teacher, you had to get a little bit. Rita Mae Brown once wrote, "Every day you're alive and someone loves you is a miracle." Today we say loud and clear that you belong, that you are beautiful, that you are loved. That's the miracle that carries us through the darkest times, that gives us hope for the future that we all want, that strengthen us for the fights ahead. And when you leave here to go back to the place that needs so much change, take that miracle with you. Let it remind you that you don't have to face those battles alone. You are never alone, and you are loved. Thank you for celebrating with us today. And now, please welcome Scarlett Harvey, a health and fitness coach from Texas, who is here with her wife, Crystal, and their 3 kids. Thank you.
Hello and happy Pride. We are the Harvey family, and we're thrilled to be here at the White House for this incredible celebration of joy with the LGBTQ plus community and friends from across the country. We live in Houston, Texas, with our 3 kids. 12-year-old Jocelyn, 4-year-old Liam, who couldn't join us today, and Christopher, who will be one later this year on Pride. My wife, Crystal, is an elementary physical education teacher, and I am a health and fitness coach. Growing up in Texas and knowing I was part of the LGBTQ plus community, I had to hide my true self. I never knew if I'd be able to marry the person I love or have kids. But look at where I am today, together with my wife and kids at the White House. And I am so damn proud. We're a blended family, living out and proud to show our community, our state, and our country that love makes a family. As you can imagine, being out in Texas can be especially tough. In many areas of Texas, we don't see families like ours, and many times we get looks and whispers behind our backs. But don't let it discourage us from being us. We don't let negativity and ignorance win. We hope being an out and visible two-mom family will help others realize that while we may look different, than their family, there's so much we have in common. Every week, we try to balance the kids' school, basketball practice, and play dates, cheering them on their sport games and trying to install confidence in them to be their best self. After all, isn't that what we're all trying to teach our kids? We teach our children that everyone is unique and we must not only accept their uniqueness, but embrace it and celebrate it. We show our children that love and what love looks like. We practice kindness and respect to all. We try to be examples not only for our kids, but to anyone else's and anyone who sees us. We always be proud of our family and proud of our love. And we're also proud that we have the president who gets it and who values us. And knows that love makes a family. It's an honor to introduce a true ally of the LGBTQ plus community, the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Hello. You know, I was a lucky guy kid. I had a dad and a mom who understood that we meant what we said in our, that sounds corny, we're the most unique nation in the world. We're the only nation that is founded on an idea, not geography, not religion, not ethnicity, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by their creator, etc. I'll never forget, I was going down to get an application when I was in high school to be a lifeguard in a city pool. And my dad would drive me down on his way to work and drop me off. And Wilmington, Delaware is the corporate capital of the world. It was anyway. And, but all kidding aside, it's a place called Rodney Square. And the DuPont building was there, the Hercules building was there, all these major corporations. And I was getting out of the car to go in the city hall. And there were these two well-dressed men standing in a corner. The light changed. They kissed each other and went in different directions. One went to the DuPont building. One went to the Hercules building. And I'd never seen that before. I looked at my dad. He looked back at me and said, "It's simple. They love each other. It's simple." And to me, it's that simple. It's that straightforward. Scarlett, thank you for introducing me and for the hope and optimism you and your family represent for our entire country. And to all of you, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life. We're joined today by leaders across our administration, which has more proud staff at every level than any administration in American history. Our Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. And we have the first and second transgender Americans to be confirmed by the United States Senate in history. Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services, Admiral Rachel Levine. And Undersecretary of Defense, Sean Skeely. And by the way, I'm proud that back home in Delaware, the first transgender state legislator in American history, Sarah McBride. I also want to thank two people who couldn't be here, but who made this possible. My dear friend, Tim Gill, and his husband, Scott Miller, who's doing a terrific job as my ambassador to Switzerland. And it's wonderful to welcome all of you and over 1,000 Americans from all across the country. We're gathered here today to honor the extraordinary, and I'm not being solicitous, the extraordinary courage and contribution of the LGBTQ community, to celebrate their legacy and their progress. We welcome to the largest Pride Month celebration ever held at the White House, but just the beginning. Jill and I, Kamala and Doug, the entire administration, are doing everything we can to advance equality for the LGBTQ community in our nation, the entire nation. As Commander-in-Chief, I was proud to have ended the ban on transgender Americans serving in the United States military. I signed a historic executive order strengthening civil rights protections for... He's running from me. I don't know where he's going. Do that again, man. You're a sprinter. You can... I don't know if he's running to something or from something. I don't know. But look, we put protections for housing, employment, health care, education, and the justice system. We're combating dangerous and cruel practices of conversion therapy. We're launching a new national strategy to end HIV epidemic by 2030. By 2030. We're working with communities to treat and contain the Mpox outbreak. We're ending the disgraceful practice of banning gay and bisexual men from donating blood. Making human rights for LGBTQ people around the world, not just here, around the world, a top priority for my foreign policy, including a review of our engagement with Uganda following its recent anti-gay law, the most extreme in the world. And last December, we felt such pride here in the South Lawn when I signed the historic Respect for Marriage Act. It protects the marriage of same-sex and interracial couples. But for all the progress we made, we know real challenges still remain. When a person can be married in the morning and thrown out of a restaurant for being gay in the afternoon, something is still very wrong in America. That's why the Congress must pass and send me the Equality Act to qualify protections for the LGBT community. Joining us today are survivors of Club Q and Pulse, the shootings that took place, who remind us why we must fully implement the significant gun law that we passed, the most significant in 30 years that I signed. But it's not done yet. We have to ban assault weapons. And, when families across the country face excruciating decisions to relocate to a different state to protect their child from dangerous anti-LGBTQ laws, we have to act. We have to act as a nation. We need to push back against the hundreds of callous and cynical bills and laws introduced in states targeting transgender children, terrifying families, and criminalizing doctors and nurses. These bills and laws attack the most basic values and freedoms we have as Americans. That's not hyperbole, that's a fact.
There's quite a ways.
The right to be yourself, the right to make your own health decisions, the right to raise your own children. I recognize for a lot of folks across this country, maybe it's not you, your kid, your family member going through whatever a transgender child and family is going through, but I think we all agree, if it were you,
wanna hold on to it?
you'd want the space to figure it out
Okay, when
with
you
your
grab-
family and your doctor, not being told by anybody.
Okay, I'll stand by it. Okay.
Look, I think we can all agree, no one should have to fear for their safety in this country. No one should be singled out or demonized or made to feel less than anyone else. There are some things we should never question or put at risk. Your life, safety, your dignity, they can never be put at risk. And they are still. You know, too many people in the LGBT community are worried and afraid about their future and their safety. So today, I want to send a message to the entire community, especially to transgender children. You are loved. You are heard. You are understood. And you belong. And as I made clear, including in my State of the Union address, your president and my entire administration has your back.
MC, how's
We see who you are, made in the image of God, deserving of dignity, respect, and support. 2 days ago, I announced a series of new initiatives we're taking to protect the LGBTQ community. First, ensuring your physical safety.
is that adjusting?
Whether you're organizing a pride parade, running a small business, or just trying to focus at school, you shouldn't have to deal with bomb threats, harassment, and violent attacks. That's why the Department of Homeland Security, with the support of the Department of Justice and the Department of Health and Human Services, is launching a safety partnership that's going to provide critical training and support to the community, dedicated resources to better protect festivals, marches, community centers, and businesses, to better protect healthcare providers serving the community, and help folks report hate crimes. Second, we're taking on these civil rights violations because that's what they are. For example, we're addressing how the growing threat to book bans may violate the federal civil rights laws when they target LGBTQ students or students of color and create hostile classroom environments. Third, we're investing in the future of LGBTQ kids.
Good.
Last year, we launched a nationwide crisis hotline. The LGBTQ youth who are feeling isolated and overwhelmed. If you need help, if you're worried, if you're just concerned, not sure what to do, you need somebody to talk to, you can now pick up the phone and call 988 and talk to a counselor who can give you help. And don't hesitate to call. This year, we're committing more mental health resources and new funding for programs that help families support and affirm their kids. A new federal initiative to address the LGBTQ homelessness. New proposed regulations requiring states to protect LGBTQ kids in foster care, and so much more. Let me close with this. I know it's hot out there, and you're probably, when's the man going to finish? Let me close with what I see today. Well, thank you. Well, let me close with what I see today at the White House. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I see families who testified in state capitals against laws stripping them of their freedom. I see students who are leading walkouts and protests of hateful bills like Don't Say Gay. In all of you, and this is not hyperbole, in all of you, what I see is courage. I mean it sincerely. From the bottom, I see courage. Courage. And those who were the generation before you who stepped up, there's even more courage. They worried not only for their lives, they worried for their jobs. They worried for whether or not they could even be involved at all in the community. Imagine what it took 40 years ago to stand up and say, I'm gay. What would have happened? No, I mean, people who had to fear for their lives just acknowledging it. Just acknowledging it. We all talk about courage. Well, I see more courage in this lawn than I've seen in any time in the recent past. But the thing about you all is, you not only are about courage, you generate so much hope for people. Hope and light. You enrich every part of American life. Educators, entertainers, entrepreneurs, athletes, actors, artists, scientists, scholars, diplomats, doctors, service members, veterans, and so much more. As I said, I mean this, I swear to God. You're some of the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known. And I've known a lot of good folks. You set an example for the nation and, quite frankly, for the world. You know, we all move forward when we move together, with your joy, with your pride lighting the way. So today, let us proudly remember who we are, the United States of America. And there is nothing beyond America's capacity when we decide to do it together as you're doing today. We shall get better every single year. Happy Pride. Enjoy the celebration. And in just a few minutes, Jill's going to come back and introduce a performer who embodies joy of this community. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.